Meleche, 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 Baby Mashai, Baba Loco, Mema Yesho, Baby Mashai, Dijo Ope. Meleche, Baby Mashai, Dijo Ope. Meleche, Meleche, Baby Mashai, Baba Loco, Mema Yesho. Kemi máa ṣàìdíjọ ọpẹ́ torí pé onígbàǹgbẹ̀gbà aláwo ń gbàwó èmi fẹ́ gbàpẹ́ sólúwa aláwùrá bí alátìlẹ́yìn ọba tí kì í dojú tì ní mẹ́ẹ̀mà lè ṣe o kemi máa ṣàìdíjọ ọpẹ́. Aláwo ń gbàwó èmi gbégbà pẹ́ sólúwa aláwùrá bí alátìlẹ́yìn ọba tí kì í dojú tì ní mẹ́ẹ̀mà lè ṣe o kémi máa ṣàìjíjó ọpẹ́. Lólòdì kan o àkúnlẹ̀yàn òun làdáyébá mo délé ayé mo dá ìtọ̀nà òwò òwú kì í là inú robó lóko mo já tìyá iṣẹ́ ń yá mi wéréwéré mo já tọ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ ó lè dẹ̀rín lọ́rùn mo já tìtọ̀nà ọ̀pẹ o ọ̀pẹ ní sórí èkùrọ́ orí àgbo èkùrọ́ orí àgbo amóhùnyè kóróró. Àkọ́kọ́ dáyé ni ó ti jáwé ọlá. Kí n gbọ́. Àṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ dáyé ni ó ti jáwé àtọ́ o. Kókókó là ó bọ́ nílé àárọ̀. Ẹni bá wá wò sẹ́jú dàkọ̀ ni. Yóò bá létí omi.
Wow. What a way to say a good morning to you this morning on The Conversation here on Lagos Television. I'm sure you were wondering, what are these girls up to today? We'll tell you in a bit what we are up to today. I am Abimbola Bello.
And I am Adebimpe Omotayo. A beautiful way to start Friday. You know,
you've been looking forward to the weekend.
You know, I've been looking forward to this day. And we started, you know, dancing. You find out more about that.
I am Joy Olu. Welcome to The Conversation.
All right, we're celebrating two things today. On The Conversation, of course, we're celebrating the 78th birthday of the legend himself. He turned 78 sometime last month. I'm talking about King Sunny Ade, the legend himself.
Legend himself.
And of course, you see there's three pretty little girls. We were once girls.
Yes.
And so it's our day today, and we're feeling like girls again. It's the day, International Day of the Girl Child. And of course, what a day to be happy to be a girl. Are you happy to be a girl?
Oh, yes, I am.
Talk like a girl, don't talk like a woman.
You know, when I refer myself to as a girl, my daughter will go, "Mommy, you are not a girl now. You are a woman.
You are a mommy.
You are a mommy." You are I said, "Look at you today. You are a girl.
You're a
Tomorrow,
girl.
You're still a girl.
You're still a girl. Even when you have your children, you're still a girl." Okay.
Okay,
so
we can say that every woman has a girl inside. Since they say every man has a boy inside.
So no matter how old you are as a woman, you're still a girl.
Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic.
You were once a girl. So
I think
you
I'm
were
still a girl.
Yeah.
Every girl
still a
for
girl.
life.
At least for
Baby
Joy
girl for life.
and Bingpe, who still have their dads, they will remain daddy's girls.
Yes, so let me stress it.
I know, right?
Daddy, I know you're watching it.
And
Can you hear what Abibola is
yes,
saying?
now I know you're
I don't
still
want
a
to be
daddy's
like her.
girl. I know, right? Those of us who've lost our dads, we remain daddy's girls. Even wherever you are, I'm sure my dad is still very proud of the girl that I am. So we'll continue to celebrate as girls. All right, so you see why we had to come in dancing. Of course, celebrating Kessie and celebrating ourselves and the milestone that we have achieved as girls. But are we where we ought to be? Maybe no. But we're not where we used to be.
Where we used to be.
All right, and on that note, of course, let's kickstart the show properly. Let's start our news points for today. Adebimpe, let's take your story.
Okay. Fubara heads to Supreme Court as appeal court affirms pro-Wike lawmakers. The Court of Appeal in Abuja has affirmed Martin Amewule as the recognized Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly. A three-member panel of the appellate court in a unanimous judgment dismissed the appeal filed by the Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara, stating that it lacked merit. The Rivers State Commissioner for Information and Communications, Joseph Johnson, criticized the judgment, restoring the lawmakers loyal to ex-governor Nyesom Wike, noting that it will be challenged at the Supreme Court. Johnson said there's another level, that's the Supreme Court. Remember, what went to the Court of Appeal was not the legitimacy of Amewule. What went to the Court of Appeal was the judgment of Justice Omotosho. And the ruling of the Court of Appeal was that the withdrawal of the case was because Mr. President directed that they withdraw all court cases. Yes, the appeal court has ruled, you know, against the House of Assembly in Rivers State, no, the pro-Fubara House of Assembly in Rivers State, and has ruled, you know, for the pro-Wike House of Assembly in Rivers State. Yesterday, I also learned that, you know, when the pro-Fubara forwarded the budget, you know, it was rejected because
for me,
that House of Assembly is not recognized.
That's judgment. I'm not even going to look at the lawmakers. The fact that the appeal court did say that you could not have presented a budget of a state to 4 people.
To 4 people.
It is not done.
Sounds
so
ridiculous.
the case of whether or not they were APC or PDP lawmakers, that for me, that was not even the landmark judgment. The landmark judgment for me was the fact that, Mr. Governor, you have to represent that budget. That budget, as we speak, is null and void. So you spending that budget or going ahead to run by that budget itself is an abuse of the law, because that budget stands unpassed by the Assembly. So now, of course, the Attorney General and the State Governor has said we are going to the Supreme Court for another interpretation.
That 4 people are the members of House of Assembly. So what are we doing? Why are we wasting resources and wasting time?
If you're not even versed in the law, common sense prevails that you could not have passed. That's not even 1/3 majority of the House, not to talk of 2/3 majority of a state assembly. 4 people. No, I mean,
he has to represent it.
But definitely, it's in very minute cases that the Supreme Court will rule against what an appeal court had ruled. So let's see what will happen here at the end of the day when this case is heard at the Supreme Court. All right, let's take the second story this morning, and that is coming from a former governor of Bauchi State, Muhammadu Abubakar, where he called on Nigerian youth to rise up and take up the responsibility of salvaging the country. Muhammadu spoke at the first Bauchi SDGs Youth Summit 2024, declared that his generation and its set of leaders, including himself, have failed to provide Nigerians with the kind of leadership they deserve. In his quote, "My generation has failed. My generation appears not to have answers anymore. Allah loves Nigeria. That is why every chance he gives to my generation, we take Nigeria to the precipice, and Allah will bring it back. We'll take over again and bring it to the precipice," which means doing one thing the same way and expecting a different result, which some people say is the definition of madness, and that is end of his quote. The Bauchi ex-governor, while disclosing that his investments on the youth populace during his administration were deliberate, noted further that he deliberately populated his executive council with the youth. I'm just going to end that story there, and of course, I'm just wondering why he's speaking now that his generation has failed and urging the youth to rescue Nigeria. Rescue Nigeria from where?
When he was...
His generation failed.
When he was governor, what did he do?
No, he populated his administration with young people.
With young people.
So at that point in time, were they also not able to rescue his administration? Because sometimes we just end up saying things that are able to heat up the polity further. This is not, you know, trying to cast aspersion or, you know, casting blames. Yes, there is a problem. How can the problem be solved? It's the best way forward. Even if you want young people to add their own quota to nation building, there's a way you can inspire them. There's a way you can talk to them. But now making it look like, yes, I mean, he agreed that he's part of the failure. I mean, so he took that responsibility. But at the same time, what exactly are you telling the younger people to do? Take up arms?
Nigeria youth to rise up
and
take
do
up.
what?
Rise up how?
How?
I think our leaders, you know, both past and present, should learn how to guard their
because the crop of leaders that we have today, they are still mentors to some people. So how you chart a path forward for them matters a great deal. So if you're indirectly asking them to rise up and do what? This should be everybody's challenge. The younger and the older, can we come to a point where the ideas of the older ones can be put, and then the younger ones can also put the ideas. Let's sort the ideas and see how best these things can work, rather than sit somewhere and be insightful.
Exactly. Exactly. It's easier for him to say this now because he's no longer there, even though he admitted that, you know, he's part of a failure. But this is not the way to advise, you know. This is not the way to, you know, lead or talk to the youth, you know, in order to, you know, take responsibility, you know. At your age, that someone like Gowon was president, was head of state when he was 29.
Yes.
Our former governor here, Fashola, Governor Fashola was about maybe in his 40s when he was governor. So those are the type of things I expect him to say. Just to encourage the youth, not making insightful statements.
Joy, let's take your story.
Lagos Red Line rail operations to begin October 15. The Lagos State government has assured all that its second rail project, Red Line, will commence commercial operations by October 15. This was contained in a statement signed by the head of corporate communications, Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority, Kolawole Ojelabi. The permanent secretary of the Ministry of Transportation, Olawale Musa, said that the Red Line when the Red Line commences full operations, it will complement the Blue Rail to pull out between 100,000 and 150 persons from the Lagos traffic daily. It says that the governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, will lead his executive council members and other dignitaries on the passenger operations inauguration and ride with commuters on the first fee-paying passenger trip. He says that the train services will commence daily from Agbado at 6 a.m. This is a laudable one.
Yes, the Red Line project. Yes, is the second in line after the Blue line.
Yeah.
And we're still expecting the orange, green, purple, and brown, of course.
At least let's celebrate the ones that are
Lagos is working. Things are working here.
I'm sure residents of Agbado cannot wait
for
this to actually come on board, because this, of course, will make them have seamless, movement into Lagos to and fro. So, because kudos to Lamata. We see all that you're doing, and we do hope that Lagos residents or those that will be using the Red Line will also have a sense of responsibility and maintain that asset. It is an asset, and maintain that asset properly, because again, you can't afford to misuse that particular utility. Right, those are our news points for today. Let's quickly head to X this morning and take a look at one of the many trending stories. But before we take this, I don't know if you ladies also read about that story that happened yesterday, where some guys who were going to cover the Super Eagles match were kidnapped, and said that one of them may have lost his life. You were not privy to that information. I read that yesterday, that some sports guys, Nigeria is supposed to play a match in Akwa Ibom against Libya, and the news broke yesterday that some sports guys were traveling in a bus and they were kidnapped somewhere in, is it Imo or Anambra State, and one of them may have lost his life. Okay, let's leave that, since you're not privy to that information. Well, the story that is trending this morning is that of Asari Dokubo and, of course, the defense headquarters, where Asari Dokubo is saying that he wants to bomb, a military aircraft, and the army are responding to him saying, you do not have the capacity to bring down military aircraft. And if you think you want to dare us, come onto the battlefield and let's show you what the Nigerian army
can do.
This is what I'm saying about some of our leaders and the kind of statements they make. They make insightful. And when they arrest them now, they will say, "Oh, they didn't mean it that way. They weren't supposed to." Anyway, Asari Dokubo, we know you to always talk your talk and.
Kill. Unguarded utterances are not things that we really need at this particular point in time. And we do know that Asari Dokubo is one man that, of course, has, he talks freely, and, saying that he could shoot down a military helicopter flying near his residence is one thing that needs to be looked into, because, again, that will amount to, no, it's not, is it a treasonable offense? Because now you're declaring a war against, against the country.
You're disturbing the peace of country.
Not only your community, but
of the country.
piece of Nigeria.
Yes, so
okay.
that can be treasonable.
Well, let's see how this will pan out at the end of the day. Well, those are trending stories as well as a hashtag for today. We'll take a quick break. When the conversation returns, for those who've seen this man lately, you will agree with me that 78 does look really good on him. It still performs live on stage, sometimes not even sitting, playing for hours, not tired. But of course, he has paid his dues in the entertainment industry, and he's still glowing. Today we're celebrating the legend himself, King Sunny Ade, celebrating his 78th birthday. Of course, it turned 78 sometime in September. Our guest will be here, and together we'll take a look at this very energetic man.